All right, welcome back to the Power Breakfast segment in Power Breakfast Show. What we're doing today is a very interesting sport. As I don't know if you can get a hold of what's happening here. I just want to show you. We're talking about Kabaddi right now. It's a sport called Kabaddi. I'm sure you've probably seen what is happening. As you can see there on your sets right now, this is a sport that we're going to find out more about, and we're joined by Martin Mwangi, who is the president of Kabaddi. We're also joined by Mheshimiwa Sonia Birdi, who is the nominated member of parliament, and Anup Singh. I wouldn't say what you said earlier, but he's also there. Both of them are patrons of Kabaddi. And also, of course, Mr. Let's Get Sporty, the doctor himself, Bernard Dong, is also joining us here. Maybe before we begin, Bernard.
Yes.
Very interesting sport this is, as you can see what's happening, and I'm sure Pierre will India.
Well, this is a sport of Kabaddi. It's interesting that the last time that I interacted with these players was about 3 years ago, when the sport had just started taking root in the country, and it draws its origins from India.
Yes.
And it's quite a very interesting sport. It looks complicated, but it's very simple. I'm sure the president will be discussing more about it, and also the sponsors will be talking about it, the patrons will be talking more about it.
Yes.
It's a very interesting sport. As you can see, it's very physical. Obviously, you can see if I stand next to these players, you can see
You fit right in.
You fit right in. But you can see the stature of the players. That's something that's very key. You have to be a bit. Your physique has to be big. You have to ensure that you'll be able to have that power to be able to bring down your opponent. But I'm sure even as the show progresses, we'll be able to understand how the rules are, we'll be able to understand what exactly is happening here. Taburu.
Yes. All right. So maybe we can start with El Presidente. Tell us a bit about the sport.
Yes. It's very interesting how the sport came about here in Kenya, because my background it's sports. Then when a friend of mine introduced me to these sports, and I had to Google. So you can imagine, not only Yego, who learns sports through Google.
Through Google and YouTube, yes.
So definitely that's what I did. And after sending a couple of clips to the India, because the headquarters is in India, they were impressed. And the rate under which I used to recruit players, everybody that I used to mention and bring them on board to come and play these sports. To your surprise, nobody was going back. They all wanted to join. And that's how far we've gone. We've recruited a number of teams from Kilifi. I had gone for a holiday in December. Then I thought, why can't I introduce the sports here? And I introduced it in Kilifi, Mombasa. We have it in Nyamira, through Captain, has been going to recruit players there. We have it in Kisii, and now we have it in Bungoma, that is Kabaddi University. Yes. And Meru and Kakamega now, they are coming on board. Yeah, it's very interesting sport, by the way. Yeah, as you can look, as you can see it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, precisely. I just want to bring in the patron here, Mr. Sonny. Just tell us, of course, just tell us as a sponsor, as a patron, just tell us what made you be involved in this sport.
To me?
Yes.
Basically, my background is that I used to play in the UK League.
Yes.
In 1999 to 2003. And I basically found out that there's a Kenyan team, so I contacted Matthew Mwangi.
Yes.
And the rest is history, basically. We've grown the sport quite a bit now, as you know, that we've got a lot of teams all over Kenya now in the counties.
Yes.
So we want to make it grow a lot more. And then we've got the World Cup coming up in December as well.
Yes.
So, our guys are training hard, and we've just finished a tournament as well in April 24th.
Yes.
We've done one at the Sikh Union Club.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's how I basically got into it. It's my,
I'm interested in finding out, Mr. Anup, why, as in, it's a sport, you can see, obviously, it draws its origins from India.
Yes.
Just tell us more about the history of the sport and how it plays a very integral role in Indian culture.
Basically, in Indian culture, it's from the Punjab, and traditionally, we're farmers.
Yes.
So this game was for the farmers.
They must have been big farmers.
They were farmers, yeah. Their diet was parote, and
what is parote?
It's just a little bit like what you guys were. Is it chapati? It's like a chapati.
Okay.
And
carbohydrates there.
Yeah. It's a lot of butter and lassi. They drank a lot of lassi, so they're very big guys working in the farms. And for them, it was just for them to blow steam off.
Okay.
And that's where the origins have come from.
Okay.
And the game it's basically, if you look at it, it's in between wrestling and rugby, I would say.
Okay.
But rugby without a ball.
Rugby without a ball.
Yeah, rugby without a ball.
Wow.
Yeah, of course. Very interesting. Just to remind our viewers, Dom, is that you can get in touch with us on 2242.
Yes.
You can send in your questions
Yes.
and your comments on the sport as well, 2242. And also on Twitter, the hashtag to use is Power Breakfast and Assistant TV Kenya at Kirigongaro at Willis Oburu, and of course at Banaldo. But maybe a question for the president. How do you convince people to take part in this sport?
Basically, when you mentioned this, I went into an extent of loading clips. And when you show someone how it's played, everybody wants something unique.
Yes.
And if you can look here, actually there is some form of self-defense.
Yeah.
The origin of this sport basically also was defending yourself from a group attack as an individual. So basically it has really taken this by surprise. As you can see, we have wrestling, we have rugby, and say without ball, and we also have other martial arts like taekwondo, all depending with how you are, how you apprehend your opponent rather. So it becomes very easy when you bring them on board. Then they go call someone else. Wow, there is this very interesting sport. They want to come on board, and that's how we've grown.
And Mheshimiwa, maybe you could tell us you're the patron of this, and what are your views about it, and how are you also helping them as well?
Thank you very much. I was contacted by my marshal here a while back, and mentioned Kenya Kabaddi team, and for me that was a first-time shocker, because this being a predominantly, if I may use the term, Muindi game, and being played in Kenya was unique. Now, I'll be honest with you, apart from supporting other sports like dart or pool or gymnastics or kickboxing, this was a unique opportunity for me to meet people who are actually playing, you'd say, a foreign game in our country. So when they had their first event on 24th of April, I went to watch them and support them basically, because let me tell you, as leaders, we want our youth to be engaged in activities that keeps them busy, that keeps them fit, and I was really impressed, and I've been with them since then. We've been in contact with the management committee. We're looking forward to December, and I basically would want that the Ministry of Tourism, of Culture and Sports, they should endorse this game. These boys need to go under our Kenyan government banner, so that at least first of all they'll be motivated, and it'll be something that it's like it'll be kicking off. And let me tell you, this is like having the bobsleigh team. Have you watched that movie, the bobsleigh team? And it's something very unique.
Yes.
And it's an exchange of culture, which is also very important. Watch out, you'll probably be dragged into the game as well. And basically, that's my support for this team, for the future and even presently.
Of course, let me just ask Mr. President and Mr. Nuk, just tell us the progression of the sport. It started in the country about 4 years. Kenya has participated in 2 World Cups. How was it for them being thrown into the deep end?
If I may answer that, this was actually something very interesting.
Yes.
And the best thing is that we had a willing buyer and willing seller.
Interesting analogy.
Both from international body and locally here.
Yes.
We were, we got support from international body, and locally here players were dedicated.
Yes.
With a humble beginning, players, we went for the 3rd World Cup.
How did you get the players? Because it's very difficult before even actually orient them and tell them this is a different sport.
Yes.
Like that gentleman being lifted there.
Yes.
How do I able to get the players?
I think it's in me, I would say, in short. You just call someone and explain it, and you do the same, because I do this.
Yes.
I'm a sportsman.
Yes.
So when we go, when I'm not on my official attire here,
yes,
Banadong, you cannot differentiate me and these guys here. So we do both. This is what we do, and I love interacting with them to understand them.
Okay.
And considering, again, as I said, I brought it here, when you introduce one player to the sport, he brings another.
A ricochet effect.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so we've gone again, as I said, to have enough team from different counties, and we had a very successful event the other day in April.
Okay.
From 6 counties. Now we'll be having 9 counties taking part. We have another event coming that will be actually also a selection in August for the national team that is going to represent Kenya. So definitely we also, actually, if I mention that, we also have a team which is coming from India.
Wow, okay.
They saw this and they were like, wow, why are we not on board?
Part of it, yes.
Why are we not part of it?
Yes.
They want to take part, and I told them, actually, that will be for the benefit of our federation. More so, exposure and experience to the players, so that they're able to learn techniques, because you know those people, they start training these sports at a very tender age. Yeah,
okay.
So, exactly.
So Mr. Luke, basically he's just covered everything that I asked. I'm sure for the viewers interested in finding out Raburu, for those who don't understand the game, how it's played, yes.
It's very interesting to stay here because every time they keep coming.
We get a bit
confused.
So just tell us, for the players, just run us through exactly what happens, how is the sport played. I can see here there are 4 gentlemen. I understand there's something called a raider, there's something called a stopper. So I think this gentleman can maybe just display to us and then just talk us through how it is, how the sport is.
So Haroon, basically, it's he's our captain.
Yes.
Basically, this is too small. So what happens is they start on at a goal.
Yes.
So
yes.
So from the goal, the raider.
Just come here. Just come here. Explain to me.
So from the goal,
the raider. He's the raider.
He's the raider.
Yes.
These are the stoppers. There's generally 4 because there's a space constriction.
Yes.
So he will go now. He's got 30 seconds from the goal to tag one of them.
Tags one of them.
Yeah, but they can actually stop him as well. Yeah.
Okay. What is happening now?
So now they're wrestling, and now in 30 seconds he has to come back to the goal.
Okay.
And that's it. So now he's struggling. And now he's back to the goal. So he's got the point.
He's got the point.
He's got the point.
Okay.
But if he stops, if the stopper stops him in that 30 seconds, the stoppers get the point.
The stoppers get the point.
And generally it's like one team on this side and then another team on the other side.
So what's the threshold? What's the threshold?
So I'll tell you the formation is, it's one massive circle.
Yes.
And then it's got a line down the middle. So these guys will be playing in a semicircle.
Okay.
Kind of like, what's the word? Sumo wrestling.
Sumo wrestling.
It's kind of like sumo wrestling.
Okay.
So now you've got that semicircle.
Yes.
And in that semicircle, they can actually push them out of there as well.
Okay.
So if the stopper pushes the raider out of the semicircle, the stopper gets the point.
Okay.
So subsequently, the raider can push the stopper out.
Yes.
And they will get the point.
So looking at these players, it's obvious. Earlier on when you were just introducing the show, you could just tell with the physique. Is that key? Because if you look at other contact sports, something like judo, something like karate, things that entail contact sports, you find sometimes when a small man, relatively large, but my size, being able to bring down a gentleman like this one. Is it about size? Is it about technique? What is it about?
It's a bit of both, to be honest.
Yes.
But the size does help. You have to have a lot of strength.
Yes.
And because it's a very full
So
contact.
Raburu can actually be a good Kabaddi
player. We're going to have him on our team. I already told him. I said to him, if anything fails in this industry, you're free to join us. But that's the basis of the sport. Yeah. But at strength, you know, and the other thing with this sport, you get a lot of injuries.
Yes.
So you have to be
because
strong.
you're playing on the turf. Yeah.
Yes. You're playing on the grass. Yes.
You're playing on the grass.
Yes. Yes. But the thing is now the stoppers. Me myself, I used to be a raider. The raider gets hurt a lot because he's the one who's most exposed.
Okay. He's the raider.
Yes, he's the raider. So you tend to get a lot of injuries on your ankle.
Yes.
Your wrist. Your neck.
Then you've talked about the injuries, safety.
Yeah.
Because obviously they don't have any protection.
Now we got the muscles out, by the way.
Exactly.
The muscles are out, yeah.
All right.
I think he's put on his game face.
Now it's his game face.
Yes, injuries.
The injuries, you don't sustain them that much, but the thing is, like, we've done just a tournament recently.
Okay.
So there'll always be an ambulance available. In any sport, you're going to get injured.
Okay.
You know, you've got this UFC.
Yes.
You've got boxing. karate, taekwondo, there's injuries.
Yes.
In any sport, that is, injuries prone to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, but mainly for the Raider. The stoppers have got it easy. Yeah.
How do they, what kind of exercise do they do?
Yes.
Is there like specialized training?
The specialized training, to be honest, we do a lot of like sprinting, because the Raiders, they need to know how to sprint, because the best thing is he can come, tag him quickly and sprint back as fast as he can. Yeah,
I think that's a very good leader.
That's the ideal situation to be in.
Yes.
Yeah. So then there's a lot of compound exercises like squats, deadlifts, bench press.
Yes.
A lot of push-ups, sit-ups.
Okay.
That kind of stuff, and then a lot of stretching. I think in this sport, the key is if you have to stretch properly.
Super.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's important not just to bring in the captain, just to understand exactly. Just say your name, and I understand you've featured in 2 World Cups representing the country. First, why Kabaddi? Tell us your name.
Aaron Motori.
Yes.
Kabaddi, as you can see, Kabaddi, as you can see, is very interesting.
Yes.
I've trained wrestling, mixed martial arts a bit. So to me, it's a fun game.
Yes.
I love it so much. That's why I dedicated all my time to train this guy.
When he introduced you to it and he introduced you to the sport as well, what did you think? What went through your mind when he told you that you'll be playing this sport, you play it in a circle, there's something called a raider, there's something called a stopper? Were you a bit apprehensive at first?
Yeah, at first I was seeing that as a joke,
yes,
as a childish game, but with time I came to realize it's a very interesting game, because there's a lot of workouts. You need to be strong. You
talked about sprinting, some gym work. What do you do yourself preparing? Like when you went to the World Cup, the 2 World Cups that you participated in, how did you prepare your body conditionally?
I train a lot of sprinting, a lot of push-ups, like 1,000 push-ups per day.
How many push-ups can you do?
Many.
A lot of sit-ups.
I can actually do push-ups.
We'll test you.
At least 10 kwenda juu hivi. 15.
You actually go up.
20. Yes, I go up.
Yes, you talk about
naonyesha hapo muone.
You talk about the physical aspect of it, as in mentally, because this is also an aspect of mental. How do you prepare yourself mentally? Because you're competing against people who are well established. India is one of the top countries in the world, and even countries from Asia, some of the top countries in the world. How did you prepare yourself when you went for the last World Cup in Punjab? How was it?
It was very interesting, because those guys are very strong.
Yes.
I even asked one of them, what are you eating?
Is that food you said? What is it?
Protein and a lot of lassi.
Yeah, they are very strong. They are not that tall, but they are very strong.
Okay.
They are not that built, but if he catches you, there is no way you're going to escape. Even catching you with the hands, you can't escape.
But how did you perform nonetheless?
We performed. We tried. But to India, we fell a bit low. But other teams, we performed. We beat Argentina and Spain.
Yes.
So for us, because in 2012 we defeated only one team, but in 2013 we beat 2 teams. So it was an achievement for us.
Looking at the squad, I think I only know maybe like 2 players from this group of players. How many were in that initial squad of 2012? Two.
Yeah.
Who are they?
Him and him.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, President, that shows that the sport has actually grown, because in 2012, remember, there was a small pool of base of players.
Yes.
It's actually progressed.
It has, because nationally now we have 480 players.
480 players.
Exactly.
Yes.
Comprising from all those constituencies that I have told you. And maybe the number is increasing on a daily basis.
Okay.
So it's something that I'm telling you, as I mentioned to you.
Yes.
And it's taking most of these people by surprise.
Yes.
And they really want to do it. There is a lot of workout which is involved in this sport.
Okay.
And everybody wants to keep fit.
Everyone wants to keep fit.
Everyone wants to keep fit.
Okay.
So even sometimes with patron Anoop, we went with him.
Yes.
And he played with the, with the team, and it was quite interesting.
Anoop also plays.
Yeah, I used to play professionally for the UK.
So every night you go in there, you really know what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to find out something that I also saw some people asking there.
Yes.
What does the the tapping? Because even if you see him trying to go, then do you choose who to tap or
No,
what does the
you can
tapping
choose
mean?
anybody, but the thing is, you go for the one who's basically the easiest to go for, yeah? Because the stoppers, they make it difficult for you because they're always moving. Like I said, the size of the actual Kabaddi ground, it's a lot bigger. So the stoppers will make you come towards them. So they will take it far back as possible. The reason they do that, first of all, is so that you can run out in 30 seconds. You know, it takes you time to get there. They'll run you around in circles. So now the stopper's job is they have to tap as quick as possible. So the tactic is you go in.
Raburu, let me come to this gentleman here. Let me just try and find out.
Try this at home.
Just look this side. Just look this side. Just tell us your name and you look like a very, very, very good stopper. What is your strategy when you're trying to ensure that the raider does not touch you, and once he does, you're able to get him as quickly as possible? Look this side. What's your name, sir?
My name's Lemi Muhala.
Yes, Lemi.
I'm a Kabaddi player.
Keep the microphone just towards your mouth. Perfect.
I do play stopper and raiders.
Okay.
When I'm
What's your role as a
attacking,
stopper? What is your role as a stopper?
is to tackle the raider. When it comes to me,
Yes.
I have to go down,
Yes.
lay down to his knees.
Okay.
Then I hold him.
Did you used to play another sport? Something that helped you prepare? Because I noticed that some of the Kabaddi players, some used to play rugby, others used to be competing in another sport, a physical contact sport. Did you used to play another sport, or this is the first contact sport that you're involving yourself in?
Yeah, I used to play rugby.
Okay.
I used to play in machine.
Okay.
Yeah, but I came to realize Kabaddi is interesting.
Yes.
Then I left the game, so I moved to play Kabaddi.
Does that give you an advantage, having coming from a background from a contact sport?
Yeah. Because after the game, I feel good. I feel perfect. I
You feel
strong.
good, you feel perfect.
Yeah, I feel strong. It's a nice game, sure.
Okay, so thank you so much. Do you feel good as well? Do you feel super?
Well, definitely he feels some kind of hot.
Tell us your name and how did you start playing this interesting sport called Kabaddi?
My name's Musarambo.
Yes.
Rambo.
Yeah, Musa Rambo now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Just put the microphone like this. Yes.
my friend called me
Yes.
to play Kabaddi.
Yes.
And I get interested in.
Yeah.
Until now, I'm still playing Kabaddi, and
Okay.
I love the game.
Okay. Looking at your physique, did you used to play a contact sport? Were you involved in
Yeah. I used to play Muay Thai, kickboxing.
Muay Thai?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You used to play kickboxing.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe how has that also helped you?
Yeah. I have speed.
Okay.
Both I'm a raider and I'm a stopper, both. But Muay Thai, I apply in taking a point.
Let me step back. I don't get too excited.
Don't risk.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically that helped you to some extent. I noticed that you're quite as in the kicks and everything. You're able you're able to stretch.
Yeah, only in Kabaddi.
How does that help?
Body contact.
It's body contact.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So even if I kick you, I
Okay.
take the hair.
Okay.
That's a point.
But it's interesting to find out, Raburo, what are the penalties? What are the penalties? Because I know in most sports, you can't do X, you can't do Y. For Kabaddi, what is it?
Maybe you can't be. It's like this. Come.
You know.
Catch me. Catch me.
You can't do what?
You can't.
So you can't do that.
You can't push the head. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, with the neck muscles. And
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's only recently.
Okay.
That's only recently.
Were there rules when it comes to how you was there a threshold for the physicality?
Before there used to be the rules where you could actually slap as well before.
Interesting.
You could slap the guy in the side of the head as hard as you wanted.
Yes.
But like I mentioned earlier about the injuries,
Yes.
neck injuries.
Neck injuries.
There was a lot of neck injuries from there, and then from there the International Kabaddi Federation basically said that we're banning slapping and anything to do with the neck. I think there was one or two cases where possibly they may have got paralyzed, maybe something like
But
that.
you have to be very keen how you do the physicality.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Now,
Mr. Rambo here being Aldong has succeeded. You see, which camera is it? Right. So, yes, Mr. Rambo here succeeded. Unajua hapa Citizen Dong ndo wida wetu. So, leo Ndong amepata competition. So, let's get to know the rest.
let me interact with some more players here. Thank you so much, Mr. Rambo. I understand Raburu for the players. Let's see this gentleman who's being lifted high. Just turn this side. I understand that these players have nicknames. Do you have a nickname yourself, sir? And what goes behind these nicknames?
Yeah, like me, I'm called Alex. That's my real name.
Oh, I thought.
But in the game,
yes,
I'm called the best raider.
You're called the best raider.
Best raider.
Why?
Yes, because I really understand.
Yes.
And I know how to raid.
How do you understand it? What makes you stick out from the rest? Put the microphone towards your mouth. That way.
Yes, with me.
Yes.
Why they call me the best raider?
Yes.
I don't allow them.
Okay.
So
let's see. Let me be a stopper with this gentleman.
Yeah.
Come. Let's be a stopper. So if you're a stopper,
what I'm saying,
yes,
I don't give them that chance.
Okay.
So that they stop me.
Yes.
You know, in the game there's
talking too much there. There we go. Are you on my point?
Yeah.
So he's the one to tap you. He's on to tap me. Yeah, okay, so I'm supposed to wrestle him.
It's only 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, so let me come. 30 seconds.
Okay. I'm sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I must say, Bernard has another show he's doing Monday special, Monday football. So please, Musimvunje.
I believe it's also before we wind up. I think it's important now to bring in once again the president. As much as the sport has been making a lot of strides, challenges. What challenges do you face?
And maybe also Mheshimiwa can answer the way they are addressing.
Yes.
Now, before I go there, I would like to say the growth of Kabaddi worldwide, actually, because apart from now playing the world the world championship, we have a league in UK like soccer. It's going around, and so in the process, of course, players they get players from other countries. So we are looking forward with the document that they have asked from us. We will be having players from Kenya to go to Europe and play different clubs.
Yes.
And of course now the growth and the way players they understand sport, it's very good. It doesn't matter any sport, there are those challenges.
Yes.
But it's how you face the challenge and how the impact and how you want to absorb that impact. So basically, I wouldn't say anything which is there. It's something that we can't handle. Players, they are there. We have many of them.
Yes.
We are doing our part. They are doing their part.
Yes.
And actually, that keeps us going.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think I'd like to add to that apart from it being a moral responsibility for people to get our youth into positive activities, one of the challenges that people face is, apart from the money, but we face a challenge of the will. If I may put, like even maybe the political will. We need a political will not only from the management of the committee but even from the country as well, to push our boys in the right direction. I mean, they deserve that. As you can see, some of these young boys here, they don't have daily jobs. They're doing part-time jobs. And perhaps from anybody who has watched this show this morning, they'll be motivated to join a Kabaddi team, and I'd encourage them to get in touch with the chairman so that they can form more playing groups out there. And for me, let me tell you, my job is simply this, is to make sure that these boys are motivated and we take them to the international level under our flag.
Okay.
All right.
I believe Raburu she's talked about people interested in taking part in the sport. President, Mr. Nup, how can somebody be involved in Kabaddi? Somebody who has watched this show this morning, how can they be involved?
How they can be involved? They can get in contact with us.
Yes.
If they're on Facebook, we've got a Facebook page, Kabaddi in East Africa.
Yes.
And that's how a lot of people are getting in contact with us through our Facebook page. We're actually developing a website as well. And once that's up and running, that'll be another avenue for them to contact us. But saying that, we're training Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays from 8 o'clock to...
Wednesdays?
Thursdays, Fridays.
Where?
8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, Mountain View School, just beyond Safari Park Hotel. We've also, Sikh Union have donated their grounds, so we're in the middle of organizing for our players because they've got a gym facility there, which they've donated for us as well, because December, all right, these guys are pretty big already, but we need to get them a little bit more bigger.
Get them bigger than this.
Tougher. And so we're thankful for that. We've got support from Mountain View and from Sikh Union Club, and we're very thankful for that.
Okay.
From themselves. Yeah.
Okay. Mr. President?
Yeah, just to add on that, again, he mentioned about the training at Mountain View School. It's right behind Safari Park.
Yes.
A club. We train from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Yes.
From Mondays to Wednesdays.
Yes.
Weekdays. But of course, we'll be relocating to, after the selection, we'll be relocating to Simba Union. We'd also like to thank people who have been with us on board, especially Lucky Star and Sports Pesa. They've been with us actually. And these guys, they also play a different sport called Zurukane. It's more of wrestling.
Okay.
And they're the one who pioneered that, take them to Europe. We were there in, that was in February. So definitely I would like to thank everybody, the citizens, for this time. And I'm hoping this is just the beginning. We are going high. So anybody who wants to come on board, again, as a patron mentioned, Kabaddi in East Africa. Kabaddi in, East Africa in capital. You will definitely get our link there. If you cannot be able to do that, come to Mountain View on Mondays to
Wednesday to Friday.
On Wednesday, sorry, to Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rabur. I think at this juncture it's time to wind up this show, and I feel excited. I feel like I want to take part in this amazing sport, Kabaddi. Obviously, I will not be the stopper. You can be the stopper, then I can be the raider. Thank you so much for joining us this morning on the Power Breakfast Show. Of course, Raburu, we do have Monday football coming up late in the afternoon. And this afternoon, Raburu, we have the privilege of having the Ethiopian football fans, the Kenyan football fans, as we do a build-up to the regional leg of the CHAN qualifier that's taking place in about a week's time. So join us then. As for now, bye for now. Good morning. Let me try and see if I can do some Kabaddi.
Right, and even as that happens, of course, remember tomorrow, so we'll be right back here. Very interesting show we have for you tomorrow. You will have to look out on at Citizen TV Kenya, on our personal handles at Kirigongaro, at Wilisaburu, at Banandong, at Mwaura, rather, to check out what is in store for tomorrow. As always, we try to keep it interesting and fresh, and the underlying word is fresh. Okay, all right. So thank you so much for everybody who came, the Honorable Ferdinand Waitito, and also, of course, Kirigongaro, and also the guests from Kenha, the Access Control Unit. Thank you guys also for your comments on hashtag Power Breakfast and 2242. Thank you all for coming as well. My name is Will Saburu, reminding you as always, Manandong is trying to get me here. The successful people look like you. Goodbye.
तन्हाई में दिल यादें संजोता है क्या करूँ हाय कुछ कुछ होता है क्या करूँ हाय कुछ कुछ होता है तुम पास आए यूं मुस्कुराए तुमने न जाने क्या सपने दिखाए तुम पास आए अब तो मेरा दिल जागे न सोता है क्या करूँ हाय